What's up, fellow strangers, and welcome to a new video. My name is Der Strange, and today I'll tell you the story of how I learned how to scream. My journey starts when I was about a teenager, 15-year-old, doing what most 15-year-olds do alone in the room, like, doing metal vocals and doing weird noises, like at first when I was a 15-year-old I couldn't really do that much. I was like only got down, that basic sigh thing that all those tutorials tell you about. I think most of you have watched at least one tutorial, like how to do metal vocals or how to metal scream, and basically every tutorial is like, yeah man, just use your diaphragm, man, and do like and then you got it, man, and then you will do and there you are sitting in your room and you're like, what the did I just watch? How do I do that? How did you go from to no one knows, really. So I guess it's, that's why most people feel frustrated while learning this type of singing, this type of vocals. So I only got down that basic sigh thing, and I was as a 15-year-old, I was kind of the anxious kind of guy, always worrying, oh my god, I don't want to bother people while making weird noises. I don't want to worry my mom, singing and screaming in my room. So I was kind of let back. And when I was 16, I moved to Norway for a year to study there as an exchange student. So my learning process basically stopped because, you don't really want to scream in the bedroom of people you don't really know. I don't think it's really a nice thing to do. So I kind of stopped, also because I wasn't really motivated. As a 15-year-old, I didn't really make that much progress singing. So after the year in Norway continued and I played tons and tons of guitar, that's, my main instrument, I went back to Italy when I was about 17 and focused basically on playing guitar in bands and, finishing my high school. And after that, I joined a local band, a deathcore band, where the singer, let's say, his singing style really left a mark on me because it was so peculiar. He had this, unique tone to his voice, because I learned then that he was using the fry method, the fry technique, that starts off from this kind of noise, like the Shining Kid, Red Room. So I tried doing that because I was thinking, false chord screams kind of hurts my voice. I can't do that properly. So let's try this fry thing. And I tried it, and it didn't sound good at all, man. It sounded like shit. Basically, this is what it sounded like. Like a dying cat or a dying rooster. I practiced this for a really long time, actually. For several months, I did this kind of thing. And I didn't like it. I thought it sounded bad. I tried to ask people I knew. And the answer I got was something along these lines. Imagine like this gig setting after a metal gig. Hey man, what's up?
What's up, bro?
Listen, I had a question. How do you do, those vocals?
Oh yeah, man, it's easy. Just don't use your voice.
Don't use your voice? What do you mean? What does it mean, don't use your voice?
Yeah, man, just don't use your voice. Trust me, it's easy.
So after his amazing advice, which is actually useful, I mean, we will come back to it later, but it's not that bad of an advice. But for a complete beginner, just telling don't use your voice, it doesn't make sense at all. After that, I kind of, was frustrated. Like, why can't I sing like this? What is holding me back? Why can't I unlock my screaming voice? And then, I kind of said, screw it. And there was this thing at university during my bachelor degree course where we kind of made a lot of memes. A lot of memes. And also meme songs. So basically what I did was taking, we had this Chinese course. And the teacher made us listen to, some Chinese songs to learn the language, the basics of the language. And what I did was take the songs and make them deathcore. And of course, I wanted to sing onto those songs. So I kind of, I can't really sing. The fry screaming sounds like shit. Let's just try it, man. Fuck it. Let's go. So I started doing growls, doing maids. At first, the most comfortable tone for me was kind of a mid-rangey scream, like kind of a death metal scream. Like, let's see if I can nail this without screwing the levels. Something like this. So kind of mid-rangey. It didn't sound this good. Of course, it sounded much worse. And it was kind of more throaty sounding. But I'll see if I can find a clip and I'll let you listen to it. Hey everyone, what's up? So now I'll show you the clip I was telling you about. So the idea here, just to give you some context, was to turn this song into this. Alright, so pretty stupid. It helped me with my Chinese exams though. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to turn off all the effects on the vocal track and disable the doubled vocal track, so we can really hear what was going on back then when I recorded this. So let's turn off the effects and let's listen. So right off the bat, what we can hear in this take is that my distortion was placed much down, way down in the larynx. So instead of being like the bass tone being, it was more this kind of thing that is not that good for your voice, and it really hurts actually if you try to do that. Another thing we can notice is that I had a really breathy character, so I couldn't really squeeze and achieve that vocal closure, that false chord closure that's necessary for this type of singing. So what you hear is a lot of undistorted air coming through. That's why, especially here, you can hear how much it seems like I'm blowing on the mic, basically. Listen.
What's a telly? What's this ratio?
It's not that pleasant in a recording to listen to this. So yeah, that was a quick snippet of one of my old vocal recordings. If you want a more in-depth analysis of my old vocal takes, just let me know in the comment section and I'll make a video of it. See ya! And so yeah, I did these meme songs, and it was actually such an amazing opportunity to learn, because you don't realize it, but listening to yourself screaming, singing is the best way to improve, to learn what you're doing wrong, what you don't like about your voice and about your tone. I didn't even use such an expensive mic. I mean, kind of expensive. It's not that expensive. I was using one of the Thomann microphones, the T-Bone something. It was about 30 euros of a mic, something like that. But it still did get the job done, I could listen to myself through a mic that, as bad as it was, it helped me to understand what I was doing. So from that, I went on, and, it hurt, I'm not gonna lie. I was doing it the wrong way, and recording a 2-minute long song basically put me KO, man, knocked me out completely. I couldn't do anything. I felt tired. My vocal folds felt tired. I felt my throat like really, really sore after just, a 2-minute song. At the time, it took me 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that. Because, you listen to what you're doing as you go, and you don't usually like at first what you're doing, so you try to redo it again and again and again and again. So the thing now was that, I could do some decent mid-rangey screams, but my lows kind of were too airy, let's say. There was way too much air. I still am working on my lows, as it's the part of my voice that requires more work for me. But in the beginning, it was like, a death metal growl, kind of the very first death metal growls, like because what happened there is that I didn't know how to really close my vocal, my felt cords. So all this air went through, and if I try to record, you can really listen on the earlier clips I recorded that there is this kind of airflow that disrupts the whole recording, and it's not pleasant to hear, and it might be better, I think. And it got better, of course. So besides that, what I found that troubled me was first, it hurt after a while. I could hold, let's say a couple of minutes was good. But if I recorded, it started to hurt. My throat felt really sore, and it's not supposed to be like that. This type of singing should be totally painless, It's, of course, let's say an advanced technique. It's like the heavy lifting of singing. So, of course, you're gonna feel something in your throat or going on physiologically. But it's not supposed to be such strong pain, you know what I mean? So after that, I kind of started doing backing vocals for that band I used to play in. And, that was also a very important part of my learning process. Because when you sing, even at band practice, it's important because you learn how to, let go of things. Just don't worry. You're at practice. Just go, scream, and do your things, That's what practice is for. And also live shows. It's a bit traumatic. I still remember the first time I did backing vocals live. I might have a picture. I'll see if I can find it and I'll show you. It was in this very small venue near where I live here in Italy. It was the first time I sang live into a microphone. And so the only thing I got really solid down was my mids. This kind of sound. I couldn't go low, and going high was a bit of a risk. I could do it, but my voice kind of, cracked and went on and off, basically. So it was traumatic, like out of the blue, the singer came to me like, hey man, you have to do backing vocals tonight. Okay, all right, I guess. So I did, and I didn't die. I'm here. It went all quite well, and I think it was kind of funny, actually, actually singing. And the funny thing about doing backing vocals live, especially when you're a small local band, is that you can't really hear yourself on stage. You can, I remember telling the sound guy, hey man, turn me up in my monitor here, and he was like, yeah, they're vibing to music like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was like smoking weed or something. He didn't give a shit, basically. So, yeah, basically everything I had back then during that night was the feeling. I didn't hear myself. I didn't know if it sounded good or not. The only thing I knew is that it didn't hurt, because I based my sound, my whole performance, the performance of out of how it felt in my throat. You know, if I felt this gurgly kind of above my larynx, then it was okay because it didn't hurt. I had no idea how it sounded, but I knew it didn't hurt, so it was okay. I was doing my, wall of sound, wall of screaming, supporting the main vocalist. After that, let's say, I felt like I could improve. There's always room for improvement when you do this type of thing. Even if you play guitar, piano, whatever, you never stop to learn, really. You always have some room left to do something more, something better. So I was asking myself, how is it that experienced singers don't seem to break a sweat when they sing, and I am heavy lifting, man. So I started watching reaction videos, and especially the videos of Cardivox Academy, and I was wondering, man, this guy is so good at vocals. How is it that he's so relaxed? What am I missing here? So the more I watched his videos, the more I was like, man, I think he might be a good teacher. I think if I took lessons with this guy, then I will probably take my voice to a whole other level. So I, put some money on the side and decided to hit the guy up. So I shoot them an email and got on the waiting list for some lessons. And eventually I did get my lesson, and boy oh boy, it was worth it. Definitely, every penny. This is also to tell you that taking lessons is important. I mean, with Mark, I learned so many things about my voice and about how all of this works. So now it's time to go back to that, just don't use your voice, man, kind of thing. It's right. It's not bad advice, because what you learn if you take lessons from a professional vocal coach is that these are your vocal folds and these are your false chords. So when you scream, these are not supposed to be closed. They're supposed to be totally open and not engaged. So the vocal folds should not be engaged when you do meta screaming. The only thing that generates sound is this, the one above, so the false chords. And also compress a lot the tone. So there is a lot of compression going on, which is something I really can't do that well. I mean, I will never sound like Phil Bozeman, for example. But yeah, I mean, taking a couple of months of lessons with him helped me to, get out of that endless cycle of straining and pain and, all of those bad things for a vocalist. And I probably would have never achieved that by myself, or I might have been able to do it, but, it might have taken much longer for me alone. I mean, we're not all the same. Each and every one of us is different. We learn in different ways. There might be people that are natural at this. They're all by themselves. They can learn how to be the next Phil Bozeman or something. Excuse me, Phil. I just, he's such a good example of a metal vocalist. And it's okay, but it's also okay to not be able to do that right away, because we're built different. So we might need some help from professionals to unlock our potential, our screaming voice. It's not a bad thing. So as a comparison, I'll let you hear what I sounded like back then and what I sound like now.
When I slit your throat and find the world, when I push my face and I feel this fall, when I dig inside, find a little bit of me, cause the line gets crossed when you don't come clear. When I slit your throat and find the world, when I push my face and I feel this fall, when I dig inside, find a little bit of me, cause the line gets crossed when you don't come clean.
So this is, let's say, the closing thoughts. Why did I do this video? To tell you, of course, how I learned, to tell you a bit my story, how I got here, because it might be similar to yours. I mean, singing has always been a dream of mine, metal singing and all that. So I wanted to achieve that. I did everything I could. I'm still doing everything I can to achieve my dream. And this is to tell you that you should never give up. Even if you feel stuck, if you feel frustrated, sometimes that frustration can be what drives you to improve, what drives you to, make that step further. So don't give up, You should hit up a vocal coach if you can, if you have the economic possibility to do it. Do it. It will help you to, achieve your dreams faster. Let's say, without a vocal coach, I'd probably still be where I was 2 years ago or 1 year ago. So yeah, that was my 2 cents. That was my story. I hope it will help those of you who aspire to be metal vocalists. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.